it's Holly Jones from Mrs. Jones Stitches. Welcome to Flosstube number 52. Today is Friday, April 11th, 2025, and I'm glad you're joining me today. If you're new to my channel, this is a channel about cross stitch patterns, plans, fabric, floss, things I'm working on, plans I'm making. Happy you're joining me today. Let's see, it's been about a week since I filmed my last video. I have all my notes right here, so we will kind of get started. I have a little bit to share just in my kind of like welcome life update section. Kitchen remodel is starting on Tuesday. The good news is it should only take about a day. I'm getting new quartz countertops, and I'm getting a gas drop-in range and a new backsplash. I love my backsplash I picked out. It reminds me of quilt blocks. It's got a little bit of brushed gold in it, so I'm really excited to kind of have some warmer metals in my kitchen. Yeah, I'm really excited. What else? So that is happening on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, the electrician is coming out and he is going to install my new pendant lights. So hopefully they arrive in time because they're not here yet. But I'm really excited. So it's been a long time coming, and I am so looking forward to cooking on a glass gas range again. Right now I have a glass one, and it is not my most favorite. So I'm really looking forward to that. So, what else? We got a new smoker this last week, and so I smoked a brisket yesterday. I let it go overnight, and I just got done slicing it up a little bit ago. So my house smells great. And it turned out really good. So that was my first time smoking a brisket. We usually smoke ribs or like a pork butt, but it turned out really good. So I foresee lots of barbecue in our future this summer. We went and got some flowers yesterday and planted my front flower beds last night. I love hydrangeas. They are my favorite flower, and I got some really pretty hydrangeas yesterday. They're all pink. And I did sprinkle a little bit of coffee grounds in one of them, so I really would like maybe a blue one too. So I was doing a little bit of reading, and it said that the best time to do that is like early spring or fall, but we'll see. So anyway, also on a different note, my husband, let me tell you. So about a month ago, he got hurt at work. He is a firefighter. And ended up kind of tearing up his hip, and we thought it would get better, and it hasn't. So anyway, he needs a total hip replacement, so we have that scheduled for the beginning of May. So honestly, that was not really even on my radar. I thought maybe they'd do a scope and do a repair, but his hip's pretty torn up, so it will be a full hip replacement. So I'm okay with it now. I was pretty upset the very first day when the ortho doc told us that, but I know he's in good hands. I know that people get new hips all the time, but it was just a little shocking because that's not what I expected to hear. So anyway, if you are the praying type, I would sure appreciate your prayers for him during his surgery. So thank you so much. Let's talk stitching now. Okay, so I have a couple whips that I've been working on. One of them I showed last week, and I really don't have anything new stitched on it, but I'll still show you again in case you missed last week's episode. This is Gifts of the Season by Blackbird. It is one of the new books from Market, and this is where I'm at right now on it. I am doing a full color conversion to color and cotton, and I really love this. I love this kind of pot with the flowers in it. It's so pretty. And these are not like any other flowers I've ever stitched before. I just thought they were really unique. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to that. Like I said, I haven't stitched on this in a week because I have been working on a daily reminder. Now, a daily reminder is the stitch along that a lot of people have started for Tara Sullivan's birthday. If you don't follow Tara, I mentioned her in my previous video. She is on Instagram at Sully Stitches, And she has a really great floss tube. Her floss tube is so informative, and she has so much to share. She's been stitching for a really long time, and she likes to stitch a lot of the same things that I like to stitch. So her channel is really great to watch. I highly recommend you go watch it if you haven't. But we started a daily reminder for her birthday, and it's this one right here. It was released this past March at Market. Be good and do good. Is what it says, and I could not wait to start this. So I started it. The start along began on Sunday, and this is where I'm at right now. So I have not been able to put this down. It is so fun to stitch on. I love the colors. I did do a full color conversion with Color and Cotton on this, and I'd be happy to share my colors with you. I did post them on my Instagram this last week. I was a little hesitant to share the colors initially because I wanted to make sure that some of the colors showed well on this fabric. Sometimes whenever I pull colors, I will pull them and just kind of have them laying against the fabric, and then after I get a few stitches in, I'm like, this is not going to work. It's either clashing or it's getting ghosty and it doesn't work. So I was hesitant to share my color conversion without knowing how every color is going to look. And but I did share that this week because I have used every color now that I will be using for the piece. And let me share those with you. I have them in this cute bag that my mom made. If you don't follow my mom, she's on Instagram. She is Julie Just Sews, and she makes the most beautiful project bags and project folders. And I love them so much, and her quality is really great. So, okay, so let's talk floss palette. This is all Color and Cotton except for one color, and that is a Cosmo color. Color and Cotton, we have Old Brick. This is looking a little bit more reddish orange here, but it's actually a really kind of deep reddish coral. The Cosmo color is this one right here. This is Cosmo 853. It is a coral pink color. Also, I'm using Peach Rose by Color and Cotton. Now, Peach Rose is not in production anymore, but I will tell you what is a really great substitute. And where is it right now? Here it is. The best substitute for Peach Rose. Oh, well, I thought I had it. Do I not? Stand by. Golly. I said the best substitute, and I literally have it right behind it, and I was looking all over for a piece of thread that was already on my skein. So Peach Rose is right here. The other one is called Mesa. So if you look at them side by side, they are very, very similar. So I highly recommend using Mesa if you cannot find Peach Rose. Okay, next I have Toasted Marshmallow, which is a really pretty yellow gold. I need to switch into my new green. This is Mesquite. It is a yellow green. I really love this. This is usually my go-to green for almost everything. I love this color. I actually just got a new one, which I have like 5 of those. But anyway, love Mesquite. My next color is Beanstalk. This is a light aqua. This color is not in production anymore. To replace it, I would recommend Puddle Jumping, also from Color and Cotton, very similar. My darker teal is Hansel. This is still available. My white is Old Lace. Next I have, I have Khaki, which is a kind of gray brown. And my last brown is Spool, which is a nice kind of medium brown. So those are the colors I'm using for a daily reminder. You can see here, I used the lighter Beanstalk for the words be good, do good, or be good and do good. And then the darker is what I used on these flowers right here. So it is slightly different. The words in Beanstalk are variegated, and Hansel is not as variegated. I also used Beanstalk here on the front door. Anyway, really love it. The house is the Cosmo 853. And then the roof is old brick. Old lace is my picket fence. My tree is Spool and Mesquite. This right here, these numbers are peach rose. The flowers are peach rose with Cosmo in the middle. The basket is toasted marshmallow. Same with this basket over here is toasted marshmallow, and the green is mesquite too. So that is where I'm at. This little bird is the khaki. The window panes are also khaki. Peach rose is what I use for the curtains there as well. And khaki is what I use for the frame of this door. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm really hoping I can get a finish in the next week. Lastly, this fabric. This is from Color & Cotton. It is a random dye lot. It is called Odd Sock, which I've come to learn, I believe, I could be wrong, but I have several pieces of fabric from Color & Cotton that say Odd Sock. So what I think that means, I don't think Odd Sock is a color. I think Odd Sock is like a solo dye lot. Because I have several, like I said, that say Odd Sock that are all different. So I think that just means it's just a random kind of odd dye lot that they dyed. So unfortunately, this fabric, unless you happen to buy it in the fall at Color & Cotton, probably isn't available. I know a lot of people are stitching on the Dark Soil by XG Designs, which seems impossible to find right now. I believe the called for is Arboreal by Cedar River, which is a really kind of dark green. It's lovely. So anyway, but yeah, that's my progress on it. Hopefully I can get it done in the next few days. I still have to do the rest of the garden down here. I need to do the other tree over here. And then I'll be doing the alphabet. The alphabet is done in Smyrna's. I don't know if I'm going to do Smyrna's or if I'm going to do solid letters. I'm not sure. I can tell you what I'm not doing though, and that is that satin stitch border. My satin stitches look like garbage. They're not full enough. They just don't look good. I have seen some people who said that they do solid stitching and then satin stitch over it. I may try that in just a little area just to see, but I'm probably not doing that. I love the border, but I'll either have no border or I'll have to count and see if I can kind of make my own border. But letters, and got to finish the piece first. So that is where I'm at on that. Okay, what else? So those are my 2 whips. Let's talk about plans. So I have had this chart on my wish list for a while. It is out of print. It is a Reward of Merit by Blackbird Designs. And a generous friend on Facebook offered to loan me her copy of it. So I will show you what it looks like. It is called Patchwork Pinkeep by Blackbird Designs. And that is what it looks like. It was part of the Silver Needle Stitching Circle of Friends several years ago, 2015, so 10 years ago. And every now and then I'll see one pop up on a D-Stash site, but I'm just never quick enough to get it. So anyway, she loaned me her copy, so I pulled colors for that, and I'll show you what I have. This is what I've pulled for the piece. You know what? Let me turn this around because that tag is going to be in the way. There we go. So this is what I've pulled for it. I'm really looking forward to it. This fabric is Hay Bale Medium by Color & Cotton. And I'm stitching with all the Color & Cotton flosses as well. But anyway, it'll be really pretty. I'm looking forward to it. That way I can hopefully get this started in the next day or 2. That way I can get this popped back in the mail and sent back to her. I always get nervous. I don't loan out my charts unless I really know you well. And I always get like super anxious whenever I receive a chart because I want to hurry up and start it so I can get the chart back to the owner, because it makes me nervous whenever I have my charts out and it's been a little bit, because I'm like, are they going to send it back? Are they not? So that's why I don't end up loaning out my charts unless, like I said, unless I know you really well. Okay. Let's see here. Next. So that was one of my plans. Another one of my plans is a really great stitch along that I think we're going to announce next week. It's a stitch along that I am going to be hosting with Nichol Spoor, and it is a really pretty piece that we both want to stitch. So there will be more information coming out about that next week, along with fabric, floss that I'm using. We're kind of doing separate, different things with flosses. She's going to use a called for, and I'm going to do a color and cotton conversion. So I want to make sure that I give you that floss in plenty of advance. That way you can order it if you are wanting to do my conversion, and that way you can order the called for if you want to do Nichol's colorway too. So it's going to be really fun, and look for that probably next week. Okay, so I made a mistake, and I believe in owning up to it. So when I did my giveaway last week, I had not heard back from the winners from the previous week. So I went ahead and offered those charts back up for grabs. What I failed to do was to look in my Instagram messages in like the, kind of like the spam folder. And I had messages from both of the people who had won the charts. So I did not do my due diligence because it did not go to my primary inbox. So with that being said, those charts are going to go to the people who won them. Now, with that being said, I know a lot of people commented on my video last week wanting those charts. So unfortunately, they're not available. But what I am going to do is I'm going to offer up some stitchy charms. So on a lot of my pieces, I have been putting a pin with some like vintage buttons and some little metal charms and things like that. It just kind of gives it a little something extra to the piece. So I will draw 2 winners for that. And if you will reach out to me, if that is okay, if you would like, to accept that prize, then I'm happy to send that to you as kind of a consolation. Like I said, I'm really sorry because I should have checked and I didn't. So, but I do want to give you something. So that is what I will be offering up for those winners. With that being said, I would also like to offer some up to you this week. So what I will be doing is I will be offering up some little kind of charms for finishing. Let me show you kind of what I'm talking about. So this is kind of what I'm talking about. I have a little pin right here, and then I have, this one has a little key on it and a couple little buttons. It just kind of makes your piece look a little pretty. It, kind of just adds a little something extra. So anyway, I'll be offering up 3 of those this week. So if you would like to win, I would like for you to use the word charm in your comment. Make sure you like the video, make sure you are a subscriber to my channel, and that you use the word charm somewhere in your comment. And I sincerely apologize, and I very much, I'll be checking there from now on. So thank you for your understanding. I did have a couple questions in my last video, and I meant to kind of address those at the beginning, but I will go ahead and talk about those now. Someone asked, do you match color and cotton to the called for floss, or do you use your imagination? And the answer is a little bit of both. So there are some pieces that I look at and I immediately know that I love the colors, it looks great, but I'm going to use color and cotton because that's what I have on hand. So a lot of times, kind of like with this chart here, for example, I was looking at this chart, and once you, well, let me rephrase this. Once I see a chart, I've been stitching with color and cotton for a really long time. So I automatically in my head know the greens I like, I know the pinks I like, I know the blues I like. And I have those colors kind of in my brain. So I'll immediately look at this and I'm like, okay, I know these flowers are going to be, you know, peach rose or mesa. I know I'm going to do the green in mesquite. I'm going to do the brown, probably in spool, as long as it will show up on this fabric. I wasn't super sure about the blue. Lately, my go-to red has been Ferris wheel. I didn't feel like Ferris wheel was kind of dark enough for this piece, so I used old brick. So I automatically in my head kind of start knowing what colors I'm kind of thinking of, but I don't know all the time. So what I do is then I start going through my stash and I'm like, okay, I need a medium blue. I need a dark red. I need, you know, a kind of a creamy white. So I have ideas in my head based on what the picture looks like. Now, one thing that happens frequently is, especially with older charts, is the dye lots of the floss change. So what might look like a medium red in the picture, when you get it, it's actually a dark red and it doesn't give the same aesthetic. So that's why a lot of times I don't necessarily pull the called for and then compare, because for me, I fall in love with what the picture looks like. And so I want mine to look like what the picture looks like sometimes. So for example, this one is a really good example where I wanted my house to be a coral pink color. And so I went through all my color and cotton and I found coral, but it was maybe a really bright coral or it was a lot lighter. I could not find just a pinky coral that was the shade that I had envisioned in my brain. So I went to my other flosses and that's where I found the Cosmo. This is 853. And that's where I pulled this color. Everything else is still color and cotton and it matches really well together, but that's how my brain works. So I usually have colors in my mind whenever I look at a chart as what I think it's going to look like. Now, with that being said, this is a really good example, and I don't have the chart anymore because I just got done mailing it back, but Vintage Inspiration from Blackbird. The chart is done in blues and grays and browns. I didn't like that. And so what I did was I pulled my own colors and I came up with this. So again, I know that I probably want pink flowers. I like bluebirds. Again, I know my green's going to be mesquite because it's what I pretty much always stitch with. But I, stitched this in a colorway that looked beautiful to me. So it's kind of to answer your question, it's kind of a combination of both. Sometimes I match to what the picture looks like, and sometimes I just go rogue and go with what looks pretty in my brain. So I hope that helped, and I didn't just sound like a whole bunch of rambling. But anyway, and a lot of times too, I will just randomly pull colors that I think look pretty, not knowing what project I have in mind. It's just a really pretty color palette. That's honestly what I did with this palette here. This is what I stitched Our Lasting Friendship by Blackbird in. The colors just looked really pretty together. They went really well together. And I had them all pulled. And I just put them on a little hook or a little, wire or whatever. And just kind of have it sitting together, and then as I find a chart, I'm like, oh, I bet I could use this palette for it. So sometimes, like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Sometimes I pick out floss colors before I even have a chart in mind, just because I think the colors work really well together. This one is my colors for Gifts of the Season. It looks kind of similar, but they're all different colors. So it just depends. That's kind of how I do it. And everybody does it different, but that's what works for me. Okay. And then the other one, somebody asked about the stash unloading sites. So there are a couple of Facebook groups that you can join, and people are reselling charts that they have stitched or they, don't use anymore or don't like anymore. And I will show you what they look like. So the first one that I use frequently is called Stash Unloading Cross Stitch Only. It has about 30,000 members, and that's what the header looks like. That is what it's called. So you can join the group. I think you have to answer a couple questions. There are rules to the group. But that is, you can go over here to where it says, you scroll at the top, you go to albums, and there's albums. You create an album and you can shop. So you can click on this chart right here, and there are pictures of the things that the seller is selling. So there's that one. And then the other one I use is called Cross Stitch Stash Unload. And that's what the header looks like. And same thing, go to albums, and there's albums with things that people are selling. So again, make sure you look for those if you want to, but most importantly, read the rules and make sure that you are following the rules, because I have seen people get kicked out and I don't want you to get kicked out. So those are two things. I watched Tara do this in her video the other day, and I thought I was going to do it too. So she talks about what she's watching on TV. And I thought that's a great thing to do, because I mostly stitch in the evenings when I have the TV on. That's one reason why I love true crime and I love Dateline, because usually you have, there's like narration. And so anyway, I obviously love Dateline. I love any true crime. My husband and I just finished watching 1923, which is a spinoff from Yellowstone. We're big Yellowstone fans, so 1923 was great. It's a prequel to Yellowstone. I didn't realize that the last episode was the finale. I don't know if everybody else knew that, and I didn't, but it was really, really good. So if you like Yellowstone, I would highly recommend 1923. It's the classic Taylor Sheridan stuff. He's so prolific. I love Taylor Sheridan. I was also on Netflix watching, I think it's called Secret Millionaire. It's 8 episodes. It was a really fun to watch. And then the thing we watched, I binged watched it in like 2 days. It's on Paramount, and it's called Happy Face. And it's about a lady who finds out that she knows her dad's a serial killer, and it's kind of about their relationship, and it's really, really good. So the first episode, I'm not gonna lie, my husband made it through the first episode, and he's like, I don't really like it. It's not moving very fast. And then probably in about the last 15 minutes, there was a little bit of a plot twist, and he, started perking up and paying a little bit more attention. So there's 4 episodes of that right now. I believe the 5th one came out last night, which I haven't watched yet. But anyway, really good if you like kind of dramas and true crime. So anyway, okay, well, that is it. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you get lots of stitching time in. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. If you would like to win the stitching charms, make sure you use the word charm in your comment, and I will see you next time. Happy stitching. Bye. I'm back. I forgot one whole section of the video. I have some haul and I forgot to show it, so I will show you that right now, and then I'll say goodbye. Okay, so a couple things. I am part of the Heartland Quilting and Stitching Lady Dot Creates Trim Club. So this is the one for April. It is a really pretty kind of cornflower blue color. I particularly always use the rickrack and the chenille. I don't use the pom-poms that often, but I just love it. It's so pretty, and I don't have a color similar to this. So I did ask the other day. I didn't know if this was going to continue. I didn't know if it was just for a year, because this is month 11, and I did get a reply, and she said it's going to keep going. So I'm really grateful for that, because I use the heck out of these. Okay, I'm also in the Color and Cotton Fabric of the Month Club. I get a 32 count, quarter yard, and this month is called Coconut. And let me just take that here. It is really pretty. There we go. It's got just enough modeling. To me, it almost has like a tiny hint of like peach in it, or maybe a really pale pink, but it's such a good neutral. I really hope that they open up and do another dye of this color, because I would love to order some more of this. This is so, so pretty. And again, it's called Coconut. Okay. I ordered Saltbox Needleworks is going out of business. So if you have followed them, I get their newsletter, and right now, since they are closing, everything is 30% off. So I placed an order the other day, and I got Hear the Crickets Sing by Blackbird. This is part of the Loose Feathers series for the birds. I just like that bird. It's so cool. And I really like this kind of flower pot right here. I also got Americana Trifles by Shepherd's Bush. One of the things that, that I love, I have Patriotic smalls that I throw in a dough bowl every year. And I thought these would be really pretty, a nice addition. From Colorado Cross Stitcher, I ordered Springtime Messenger by Brenda Gervais. I actually have that gingham fabric from Weeks, so I definitely want to use that. And I also ordered Brambleberry Bunting with Thy Needle and Thread as well. And then a friend stitched this and asked me if I would like to stitch it because I love hydrangeas. And I said, yes, please. And she sent me the remainder of Be Still My Heart. This was a market release this year. She has already stitched it, so she decided to pass it along so generously. Luckily, she had a little bit of thread left, which I will take this and match it with Color and Cotton to find a really close substitute. Because I don't know if there's enough thread to do a whole nother one, but that's fine because I have Color and Cotton. Anyway, really love this. I've never done a heart finish before, so I think this will be really pretty, and I'm pretty sure I have some kind of like lace trim that I could use on this as well. So I'm looking forward to stitching that. Okay, now I'm done. Happy stitching. We'll see you next time, hopefully next week. And next week I should have my finishes back. I have, oh gosh, so Wildflower Guide by Blackbird, and then I should also have my Quaker Family Register back as well. So hopefully next week I will have those two finishes to show you, and then maybe a finish on this. We'll see. So, okay, we'll see you next time. Happy stitching. Bye.